So here we are. Another one of my absolute favorite shops. It's really kind of making me a little bit homesick, not being able to be there in person. But Floris on Jermyn Street. Not only is it the oldest shop on all of Jermyn Street, having been founded in 1730, but we've got Edward Bodenham, who's the ninth generation managing family member here with us today to talk a little bit about what you guys have been working on and what we have to look forward to. Hey, Edward, it's so great to see you back in the shop. I can't imagine how great it must feel.
It feels amazing, it really does. Yeah, it's great to see you too, and thank you for asking us to be part of your post today. But no, it's really exciting, and there's a great atmosphere in London at the moment. And just on the way in, I saw quite a few of our neighbours, and we were sort of chatting, and it's just great to see everybody out again, and everyone's in such good spirits, which is lovely.
It's got to be a little bit surreal. This is, I think, in recent memory, the first time, really any of these shops in London have ever been closed for such a prolonged period of time. Hopefully it's the last that it ever happens. But to be, reopening, kind of having a re-grand opening, if you will, after several months of not being able to see customers, probably has to be, I can't even imagine how that feels.
It is, it's very strange. Yeah, in nearly 300 years, the shop, I think, was shut for one day. I think there was a bomb in St James's Churchyard, and it blew the windows through. And I think a day to get those fixed, and then I think we were open again. So it's like nothing else we've ever had in all of our history. So very strange.
Yeah, very strange. But, Floris, again, making some of the world's greatest and most famous fragrances. For me, in the absence of being able to travel, the absence of really, being able to kind of proceed with life as normal, I have found that, still, putting on my fragrance in the morning, just being kind of one of those ritualistic practices that kind of helped ground me. Even though I wasn't traveling or getting on airplanes, still putting on my favorite fragrance. I think today, in honor of today's little live stream, I'm wearing the new Jermyn Street Eau de Parfum.
Oh, so am I, actually.
It's really been something that I think's kind of helped get me through this, a little bit of a kind of a sanity water, if you will.
It has with me too, actually, definitely. I think the sense of smell is so it's so nostalgic and so comforting as well. To have something that brings that familiarity, that it does bring so much comfort as well. And so when things are very strange, and we're in these difficult times, when you have your fragrance your sort of reassuring fragrance that you put on, and you always have done, there's something very reassuring, really, and comforting about that.
It is reassuring, though. It's like you hit that, and it's. I feel like hopefully I'm not getting too far off into the woods here, but, there is something, nostalgic about it and something reassuring. And in the morning, whenever I apply my fragrance, there's just something that kind of brings me together and makes me feel, more prepared for the day. It may seem so inconsequential and so insignificant as a fragrance, but really, I don't think you can overstate, the importance of a nice fragrance, and just how, it's as important to what you're, kind of wearing or as your tie or your suit.
Absolutely, it's part of you getting dressed in the morning, and having, like, the same as having a shave as well. That I find that quite therapeutic as well. One of those things that just sort of sets me up for the day.
Absolutely. So I know that, the doors to the shop have been closed. Of course, the online shop has probably been running at full tilt. You guys have still been able to serve your customers. Of course, we on KirbyAllison.com have an extensive collection of Floris fragrances. But I understand that you guys have certainly been fast at work on new projects. So is there anything new and interesting that you might be able to share that we can see in the Jermyn Street flagship?
Yes, of course. Well, we have been working on a fragrance called Golden Amber, which is a marine oriental fragrance, and it's actually a fragrance that's hand poured. So we actually hand poured them here, just behind the shop here. We have our perfumery, and so that's where we work on all of our new fragrances. And this fragrance, we just poured 200 bottles, and today it seemed fit. To be the day to launch it. So as we're all reopening, we've got our Golden Amber window there, and we have it as pride of place here as soon as you come in the shop. And so it's nice to be able to open the shop with the launch as well. So
that's exciting.
Really exciting.
So I mean, hand poured. I mean, again, kind of, really as an ode, if you will, to Floris's heritage. I mean, that, you guys have been handcrafting fragrances, since fragrances have been around practically.
Well, since the early days. So it's something that, and we've still got all of our antique glassware that we use when we're creating a fragrance as well, because we work in fluid ounces and fluid drams. When we're creating a fragrance, as well as when we're pouring it as well. So that's one of those sort of traditions that we've kept throughout the years. So we're always very worried about smashing one of the glasses because we're not sure where we'd be able to replace them. But so far, so good. So that's good.
So on this golden amber, I mean, you guys are hand pouring the 200. The 200 bottles there. Is that something that is hand poured whenever a customer comes in and requests to purchase one, or are all 200 already poured? And then are they individually numbered?
They've actually already been poured. We poured them in the perfumery. But we do have some fragrances which are part of our Ledgers collection where they have specific sort of stories to them. So a fragrance that Marilyn Monroe, when she visited London, she bought 6 bottles of rose geranium. So we have we discontinued the fragrance in the main line, but we can hand pour it for customers that want to come in. And we have a fragrance that Laurence Olivier used to wear, and Oscar Wilde as well. He used to wear our Malmaison fragrance. So we've got a few different fragrances where we do actually hand pour them for there on the day. But these have all been hand poured, all of the 200 golden ambers.
Yeah. And that is one of the things that I think I love most about London retail. I mean, not only do you have, quality craftsmanship and tradition kind of manifested at the highest level, but just the experience of London retail is really so unique in the world. I mean, I can't think of another shopping district in the world, maybe save certain areas of Paris, that offer the same level of experience that you get, at least for the well-dressed gentleman, than what you find in London. I mean, just look at Jermyn Street. You can, start at Davidoff of London, at the head right there at St. James's, be advised on some cigars, walk down, lunch at Wilton's, and then, stroll down to Floris, where you can have a fragrance hand poured that was really poured in the same tradition as it was for someone like Marilyn Monroe.
Absolutely. No, Jermyn Street and St. James's, this area is a wonderful area. We really are so fortunate to be here, and to be able to come here every day is such a delight. It really is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's certainly an experience that is unique in the world, and it's great to see, the doors opening back up, and for people, at least those Britons, being able to return to their favorite stores. And, I guess in many ways, to us here in America, it seems like it's not quite enough yet because we can't be the ones there really kind of enjoying this. But it's still not to understate, I think, the significance of this step, which is after several months of being totally shuttered to customers, Britain is reopened for business. People are able to walk into their favorite stores and continue to really participate in that very rich tradition of British retail.
Definitely, and visitors to the shop. Well, if the perfumery is, if we don't have a consultation on at the time, then we're very happy to show customers around and show some of our archives where we have all sorts of the ledgers, dating back to the 30s and 40s with some well-known customers, and we have a letter from Florence Nightingale and things like that. So it's a pleasure to sort of show customers around when they come and visit as well. So we'll make up for lost time when people come and see us anyway.
Yeah. Well, talk to me a little bit more about the Golden Amber. I mean, I'm gonna have to take a bottle of that, so we'll have to coordinate that after this call. Add it to my collection
of course.
of historic kind of Floris fragrances. But what are the notes and kind of what was the inspiration for it?
It has notes of fig, bergamot as well, cassis. It's got quite a prominent amber note as well, which is obviously in the title of the fragrance. So it's got this kind of warm, glowing side to it as well. Then there's neroli in as well, so it has a sort of slightly orangey floral note as well. So it's actually quite a summery fragrance. It's sort of medium weight, I suppose, but it has a real longevity to it, which is sort of brought on by the amber and the sandalwood as well, and then some musk notes as well. So yeah, it's been really well received so far, actually.
Yeah, well, that's exciting. Well, so if anyone that's watching this and not able to actually make it to London in person, can they ring up the shop and buy a bottle, or is this something they can buy online?
They can buy online or ring up. That's perfectly fine as well. Or to come to the shop, yeah, whichever. So we do have it on the website as well.
Well, great. Well, Edward, I don't want to take any more of your time. It looks like you've got customers coming in. But congratulations on reopening. It's so great to see you guys in the shop.
Look forward to seeing you in the shop soon, hopefully.